NightChild reviews Prince, track 4, day 4. We're going to review Like a Mac with Prince and Curly Fries, and I've got to say, so far I'm loving this album. Before I start, I should make a really quick point. I've had a lot of talk recently about Prince's legacy and his place in music, and I believe that place is assured, and there's no problems with that. But a lot of people are saying, we want people to appreciate Prince's legacy, and my point to them would be, what better way than to get a younger generation into his music, a younger generation that will listen to these tracks, like these tracks, then go off and explore the fantastic back catalogue Prince has, from Sign of the Times, The Gold Experience, Rainbow Children, up to Artificial Age. And what better way to get them involved than to get a very current sound, a kind of lot of modern artists to really appreciate their work, get into Prince, and then explore that back catalogue. And I just hope that a load of new people really find out about Prince and the amazing work he has done throughout his career. Anyway, onto the track. Curly Fries are a duo who they rap, they sing, and according to the website do many other things, choreographers, dancers, you name it, pretty much they do it. And this is a really interesting song. It starts off with these really scratchy synth strings that sort of come in and out of the beat. They're really difficult to describe, but they're very just scratchy synth strings, phenomenal, really interesting sound. And then you've got Prince's lyrics, which are fantastic. They kind of ride up in the town early afternoon, looking for the pimp dress to make you swoon. Find a little number with a fancy brassiere, looking like a Mac all up in here. And it reminds me very much of Get Wild, where he talks about, you've got it going on with the Versace with the gold mesh and kind of what shoes to wear, and one so high you're scared, kind of getting ready for the night ahead, and kind of a woman dressing up for that. You've got his voice slows at 24 seconds and then it kicks in with this fantastic chorus, and the chorus of this song really lifts it. It's just a really catchy chorus. It's one of those things that you don't realise it, but then you start singing it a few minutes after the song, and then throughout the day it just comes back to you. So it's a really catchy chorus, it really is. And then 36 seconds, the chicken grease guitar. Oh, the chicken grease guitar, where have you been? It's fantastic. This iconic Minneapolis Prince sound of the chicken grease guitar, which has been in thousands of Prince songs. But I think here it sounds very much like it does on Jam of the Year from the Emancipation album. I mean, it's fantastic, and it resurfaces throughout this track. So if you like chicken grease guitar, I would certainly go for this. 45 seconds, Curly Fries come in with their rap, and it's very modern, very current. There's a great few lines at 1 minute 23, really fantastic, and talking about kind of, the girls are shaking all they got. It's kind of like Shake with the song from the Graffiti Bridge album, sung by The Time, is girls shaking all they got, and it's very similar to that, not necessarily in sound, but in the sentiment. You've got a kind of Michael Jackson ow at 1:36 they do, and then 1:40 horns come in, and now obviously a Prince song with horns is just a delight anyway. So horns and chicken grease, the kind of classic iconic Prince sound, sort of matched together with a very current modern sound. So you've got this kind of classic Prince sound and a very funky, very kind of modern rap on top of that. And then at 2 minutes, Prince sings, cue the DJ, everybody dance when I say, and it's kind of classic, almost DMSR moment where Prince tells everybody to get on the dance floor. Then he talks about the girls are hot, dancing with each other because the boys are not, and then it's trading numbers for the drinks they bought, but what you're supposed to think in a club full of thoughts. Thoughts being a slang word, which I won't go into here, but I didn't know what it meant, and now I do, and it's quite a controversial moment. It's also, it kind of slows down, and his voice, and it's like looking like a Mac, and it's just so catchy. It's just one of those things that's just upbeat and joyous. The interesting thing here is how they take the rap in turns. So Prince raps a whole section, then Curly Fries raps a whole section, and then Prince raps another section. So he gives quite a generous amount of time to Curly Fries. You've got to look at, track 1, $1 Million Show with Judith Hill, gives a prominent place to Judith Hill. You've got Rita Ora on track 3. You've got Curly Fries on this track. So the first 4 tracks, 3 of them, he's giving a large amount of time, being very generous with the time and giving them to other artists. And I think this is quite interesting because Prince has obviously done this before on albums with Graffiti Bridge, where he's allowed other artists to have standalone songs like The Time, Mavis Staples, Tevin Campbell, and he's done it to a lesser extent on sort of albums like Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic, when Gwen Stefano, Anna DeFranco, Sheryl Crow all had kind of turns. But I think here he's actually being even more generous and mixing it in with this kind of new modern sound. It really is quite a brave thing to do and an interesting thing to do. I also think this is probably one of Prince's best raps, in the sense that it seems right. It seems very modern, very current. I mean, he's tried obviously that before in lots of different times during the NPG years, Tony M and various other times in NPG albums. But I think here he's really cracked it. He's really got a very current sound, and it really works. And it works with the modern eyes. It doesn't feel out of place at all. And you know, he's 57, and yet, quite frankly, you know, he fits in very neatly to the modern scene. And I think it proves that Prince can do this. And it really has brought a lot of youth and energy to his music. A lot of people say, well, why is it Prince tends to work with these younger artists? And I think, first of all, I would say he worked with older artists such as Larry Graham, Shaka Khan, that kind of era. But also, I think just the sheer energy. Prince has the energy of a 25-year-old. And so I think, you know, that's a key thing. So, you know, I've got to say, this is a track that really grew on me. The more I listened to it, I listened to it a lot of times, and it kind of, every time I liked it a bit more, and it is just very catchy, very upbeat. It's kind of like you know, kind of like a courting time feel, or a kind of like, you know, jam of the year. It's just kind of just lifts you up. It's just fun, and you know, I'm enjoying it. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for track 5.